friends, Samuel Graham doing TCGs again, coming at you with another box of History Pack 1 from Flesh and Blood. That is a Legend Story Studios product, product of New Zealand. Good times. I really enjoyed a lot of people don't love the whole white border thing, but I enjoyed that aspect of the product, the kind of the nostalgia of, hey, that's what the old stuff used to do. Um, so I'm definitely a fan of that. Thought it was fun, so I acquired more. So here we are. That's the one thing with these is it always surprises me when I look at it. I say always. This is the second time, but the whole there are more packs. They're only 10 card packs, but there are more of them. Kind of slow roll it for the first few. Oh, good stuff's right there. The rares, at the least. There are other good cards in here, like lots of useful stuff. That's one of the coolest things about this game. So we got Talishar, the Lost Prince, and Warrior's Valor in yellow. That's one of the coolest things about Flesh and Blood in general, I think, is that, and games have gotten better about this over time anyway, but looking at the whole concept of just because it's not rare doesn't mean the card isn't good and playable and regularly used. There's a red pummel. That's a pretty good one. All right, there's our first Majestic of this box is a Mordred Tide. That's a Rune Blade card. I can't remember if that was originally... I feel like it was originally Arcane Rising, but it could have been... we'll put that there. But it could have been Crucible of War. But I think it was Arc. But yeah, just opening some more of this goodness, seeing what we can find. Zen State token. I thought that it doesn't look as, this is one of the cards that doesn't look as good in white border, but I definitely, I've always liked that card. There is Snatch and Blessing of Deliverance for some rares. Refraction Bolters. Just throwing some of the cool stuff down there. Stuff that may or may not actually be like valuable or great card even. But stuff I like will go down there. Out for Blood. That's a decent enough one too. Bullseye Bracers. Love that. Ooh, there's a good Majestic. Gambler's Gloves. That is Crucible of War. I'm not even sure I say that. I think I do still have a non-foil copy of it. I'm pretty sure I don't have a foil. And again, that's another thing with this product is that there aren't any foils in the English version. Disable and overpower. Because we've had our foils. We don't need any more. Hope Merchant's Hood. Okay, and a Twinning Blade. All right, that's another good Majestic. I don't know as much about Mordred Tide. I was already not super into Runeblade, and then when everybody else was into Runeblade, I kind of was just like, I'm alright. There's Aether Conduit and Steelblade Shunt. I'm not doing well keeping myself in frame, so let me shift that a little bit, and hopefully I will do better starting now. Red Sink Blow, that's a good one. Vesta the First Fist. Sigil of Solace and Crane Dance, both in yellow pitch. But yeah, this is a nostalgia trip. I just love this game anyway. But getting the white border nostalgia treatment started to do that. Set that down there. We'll have a cool rares pile too. How's about that? That white border nostalgia is just nice. I love it. Just really a throwback to the 90s. And blue pummel. Knock the Death Whistle. That's another majestic for us, and one that I like a lot for Ranger, who Azalea pretty recently just got her first tournament win, first living legend points, which is crazy to think about, considering how long the game's really been around. That speaking of Azalea, there's Our Lady. Just with the way the Ranger class has worked that all that time, and we had not seen any points for her. Towering Titan and Convection Amplifier. But yeah, so she got a Blitz, I believe, a Blitz tournament win, which is cool. For those not in the know, that is the... Oh, hey, there's some spice for us. We love that. That's going into a sleeve right now. I guess I should probably sleeve all these Majestics anyway. But a Command and Conquer gets an immediate sleeve and a spot out of the glare. So there's more than one constructed format for this game. The most common one, I say most common, I think the original one is called Classic Constructed, which is kind of your typical for most games. You build your 60 card deck, which is pretty common, and then you kind of just fiddle from there. You have your sorry, got distracted for a second. You've got your variation, you've got a sideboard, you've got that whole thing. Limit 3 cards in flesh, 3 of a given pitch, color, and card name, basically. So 60 card, limit 3, all that jazz. Or there's Blitz, which is supposed to be smaller, faster, was originally slightly more casual. Take cover, NK Kasai. Was slightly more casual, whatnot, but it's become a, equally supported, competitive, hey, Dash. Competitive, righteous cleansing, brutal artwork, but cool, and a cool card. That's a good one. For another majestic for us. But yeah, so Blitz is limit 2 and 40 cards, and doesn't really have a sideboard. Basically, you get an equipment sideboard. You can have, I think it's up to 11 weapons or armor. So you get the equipment sideboard, but you don't have a deck sideboard per se. Sigil of Solace and High Speed Impact. So that's one of the things that makes it a little bit different, which is kind of cool. Seismic Sarge, Red Scar, Steelblade Shunt, and Flick Flack. But yeah, so she won that smaller, the smaller, lighter format. She finally got points from winning an event there, which is cool. I want that hero to be good, so it makes me happy to see Warriors Valor in Rune Chat. It makes me happy to see her actually seeing some results, because it's a class that I personally enjoy. Aether Spindle and Take Cover, even if I'm not particularly good with any of the classes that I enjoy. What do you do? This is a pretty good box so far. I mean, Command and Conquer is a fantastic card on its own, but getting Gambler's Gloves, which is a pretty good one, Twinning Blade, Knock the Death Whistle. I mean, we're about 3/4 of the way ish through it now, and this is a pretty solid box. Reckless Swing, that's another majestic for us. Not bad at all thus far. Like, this is a Command and Conquer. I don't know about like the white border version or whatever, but in its other versions, it's a extremely expensive card, and it's very good. It's a strong attack in its own right. It's a red pitch, so you know you can not using it to pay for a whole lot, um, and it costs 2, but it attacks for 6. It's a generic attack action, which is pretty good. Hey, Mugenshi Release, another one of the old super rares that has made a majestic in this set. But so especially playing against something like a warrior, it's cool because defense reactions can't be played against it. I say against a warrior, they're more attack reactions. I'm being stupid, but defense reactions, stuff like the sink below, you just can't play them against it, which is kind of an awesome ability, really. Um, oh, KO. Which is awesome in itself. But if it hits, if any damage gets through, one of the slots in this game, you basically have an arsenal, which is sort of a pocket card. You can't pitch with it, but uh, you can play it on your turn. So if your opponent has arsenaled a card, which if you're playing against Ranger, that's devastating. If you're playing against something like a Alpha Rampage for another majestic. If you're playing against, let's see, I said Ranger, anything that needs to, Wizard was what I was thinking, that needs the arsenal to be more effective, it's going to cause problems in the first place. But against something like Ranger, it's catastrophic because the arrows have to be fired out of arsenal. So they could have set up their Red in the Ledger or whatever card. Usually they're going to play Red in the Ledger, but you know, whatever big arrow they're trying to set up or something they're trying to set up for next turn or whatnot, and you just blow that out of the water. Like you can really, for a lot of classes, you can ruin their day. Hey, Remorseless. Speaking of Ranger arrows, you can really ruin somebody's plans with a Command and Conquer, especially if it's somebody New Horizon where they've got 2 arsenal slots. Hey, there's Dorinthia. Love to see her. More excited about her than the rares. Like you can really just ruin somebody's day with that, which is cool. So it's a powerful card, which is why it is valuable. Springboard Somersault's fun, and a Crazy Brew for another majestic. We got a couple of packs left. We are at 11 majestics. I'm guessing that's probably it, but that is not bad at all. 11 majestics seems to be pretty on par. But getting Command and Conquer as one of them is a pretty nice win. Blackout Kick. This was one of the first, it's brutal, but one of the first pieces of art I thought was really cool for this game because it's all black and white except for the blood, which I thought was neat. All right, last Packaroo. Bark bone strapping, that's fun. Unmovable, that was the other defense reaction I was trying to think. And we did get another majestic. We got Lord of Wind. So we got 12 total majestics, which I think that's right. I forgot about that. I think it's I think that's how it lays out with it being, because right now it's about 8-ish um, for most of the boxes, and then this one has half again as many packs, so it's half again as many Majestics. That's pretty cool. Have not seen a legendary personally out of this yet, so we'll see. I've got a few more boxes, so this is the last one, or the end of this one for now, but we're gonna dig through some more, see if we can pop in and get another legendary, see what Majestics we keep finding, and just enjoying the fun white borderness, seeing these old cards from the first few sets again. Thanks very much. I appreciate your time. Drop a like and subscribe if you do in fact like what you're seeing. But I appreciate your time and your day regardless. Have a great rest of yours. Bye, y'all.